Did you know that sometimes making the choice on a route that adds an hour and a half to your travel time can be totally worth it?
Or that you can find an active waterfall taller than Niagara Falls in Idaho? Well, you'll want to stick around because we did both of those things.
And we are super excited to share those experiences with you. Hey everyone, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Nicole, and we're living in our now,
where we share with you our experiences related to travel, family adventures, and part-time RV living.
And we hope our adventures inspire you to live in your now, because later is too late. If you saw our last video, we started our family vacation in beautiful Boise, Idaho.
We flew into Boise on a Saturday, stayed Saturday night and Sunday night, and Monday morning we checked out of Boise because we had reservations Monday through Friday in Ketchum.
We looked at the map and decided that we should take the longer route and enjoy the Ponderosa Pines Scenic Byway,
as well as the Sawtooth Scenic Byway. About an hour and a half difference. If you're anything like me, most of the time you're gonna say no to an extra hour and a half drive. We figured we're on vacation, why not? And it was totally worth it.
I don't think we've ever stopped off at so many scenic overlooks to just appreciate the beauty, take pictures, and spend time looking around.
And I'm sure you've been on a road before driving and you see a sign that lets you know that you're on a scenic byway and you've looked around and thought, how is this scenic? But that's definitely not the case with either one of the routes that we took.
It was really neat to see the snow still on the mountains.
Speaking of mountains, we live in Arizona, in case you didn't know, and we're surrounded by mountains in Tucson. So you would think that we wouldn't be impressed by mountains or interested in mountains, but I have to tell you that the Sawtooth Mountains and that whole area were just really awesome. Like, it was something that the entire drive we appreciated, the beauty, as Nicole said, the snow still being on the mountains, like it was just really different. So our original plan, when we looked at the map, was to stop in Stanley for lunch and then drive down to Ketchum.
When we got to Stanley, we realized there's a total of like 63 people that live in Stanley, and there's not very many options for stopping for food. Luckily, I'm always nervous about not having enough food, so I had plenty of snacks in the car. Surprise, I'm hungry.
So as we drove south from Stanley to Ketchum, we decided that we were going to pull over and check out Redfish Lake.
I think that Redfish Lake was really pretty. I loved the views, and when we got in the water, it was cold, but there was a bunch of fish swimming by our feet, and I loved it.
We decided to take a little detour on our route from Stanley down to Ketchum it's Highway 75, which is the Sawtooth Scenic Byway. It's random, but I saw the sign for Redfish Lake, and I'm really glad that we did this because that view is just amazing.
I'm glad you encouraged me to get into the water. It wasn't on our initial plan of items to go do, but you were driving and decided to be spontaneous and pull over. And I'm really glad that we did. Redfish Lake was beautiful. The water, the mountains, again, it's just perfect scenery for just sitting back and appreciating what Idaho has to offer.
And the cool thing is that we just drove in there not very far from the main road, and we're able to pull off and go up to the lake. But the lake itself is over 4 miles long. You can rent kayaks, you can do other things, and we barely even scratched the surface. And that was one of those things that if I could say I wish we'd have done a little bit more, it would have been exploring Redfish Lake. But I think that it was still worth the 15-20 minute delay that it caused us by stopping there.
It was a really great experience because myself and Paisley both got to get into the lake after your encouragement of just watching me stand there and look longingly over the water and touch the water. It was a great experience to actually get in and stand in the water. I just didn't want to inconvenience anyone by having to go back to the car, get the towel. We need to do better at being more spontaneous.
As you'll probably come to find out through our adventures, that is something that we struggle with. We very much like plans, we very much like structure, and it stresses both of us out when anything deviates from our plan. So this was good. This was good.
Spend extra time, but it's vacation.
All right, we left our Airbnb and we're gonna walk down. Not very far on our drive up here, we saw this little kind of single lane pedestrian vehicle bridge that went over the river. So we're gonna go check that out and kind of hang out there for a little bit.
It's nice that our Airbnb was so close to the river. We took that short little walk, and that area had a nice picnic area, some benches by the water. And later on during our vacation, we had actually went back to that same location and brought a picnic lunch there and just sat and enjoyed the scenery.
Which the picnic, having a picnic outside is actually one of the things that was on our summer to remember list. So that was something that was really easy to check off without having to go search for anything. So one of the things that we wanted to mention about the drive from Stanley down to Ketchum, that I-75 stretch, is the amount of free camping that we saw. You couldn't go a mile without seeing campsites off to the side of the road. And they weren't like developed campgrounds, it was actual boondocking sites.
It really made us want to go back again and visit with our travel trailer so that we could go and boondock and really get down into nature and stay and do a little more exploring.
Right, because who wouldn't want to be able to spend up to 16 days with the river running right outside your doorstep? Now, if you're ever in that part of Idaho with your travel trailer and you're looking for boondocking sites, you don't really have to go very far to look. You just need to decide on which one you want to go to.
Today we're going downtown to explore Ketchum, go check out some of their touristy little shops, probably go out for lunch with the family.
Also very importantly is Mom and Dad finally get a date night.
Sorry. I was thinking about this morning, trying to remember the last time we went on a date. Our anniversary.
Our anniversary, which is in January. So just a combination of COVID and life and everything else. But we decided that we would kind of capitalize on the fact that everyone's together and we have a teenager, so we have a babysitter. And we'd actually be able to get out.
Yay, date night.
And enjoy our date night. Should be a good day. We're looking forward to it.
Yes. We didn't take any footage, but we really had a great time on our date night. It was nice to be able to go out to dinner and just sit, chat, reconnect, spend some one-on-one time together.
We'll put a link to the restaurant that we went to in the description below. It was one of the highest rated restaurants in the area when we looked it up. And it was really cool. And it was nice to be able to just get out and, like Nicole said, enjoy connecting. Ketchum itself is a cute little town. It is a resort town. It's definitely geared, I would say, more towards out-of-towners, towards tourists.
Especially during the ski season.
Right, that's what they're mainly known for as being a ski resort. There's a lot of high-end fashion shops.
Lots of little touristy shops, lots of real estate places.
Right, and some really big houses out there. All in all, I think if we were to return to the Ketchum area, it would be mainly because we wanted to do outdoor things in that area and not so much for Ketchum itself. But it might be interesting to check it out during the snow season, depending on how the roads are up there. No,
I've had enough snow. I really liked our Airbnb. The backyard was really lush, green. We spent a lot of evenings out in the backyard, just hanging out.
We're back in Arizona now, that's why the background has changed, but last week's recap video was shot in the backyard of our Airbnb. We'll also link the Airbnb in the description. So it was your idea to see a waterfall on our summer to remember list. What did you think about your first waterfall?
It was amazing. It was much bigger than I was expecting. I loved it when the mist, whenever it was windy, the mist would blow in your face. It was nice. I loved it.
Cool. Do you think people should go?
Definitely.
Do you think people should go to Idaho?
Yes.
Do you think we should go back to Idaho?
Yes.
Well, I think she did a great job of summarizing our excitement for Idaho and visiting the Shoshone Falls.
It's been really fun just looking through our footage and pictures from our trip and sharing it with you guys. And hopefully you've enjoyed it, and now Idaho is on your list of places you want to visit next.
We hope you join us in our next video where we share with you our adventures in going whitewater rafting, hiking, and I get to check an item off of my bucket list.
You may have heard us mention Summer to Remember and the Summer to Remember checklist and be wondering, what the heck is that? I'm not going to go into great detail because there's websites and a couple videos that explain it, but shout out to KYD, Keep Your Daydream, for coming up with a really cool concept. You'll see us wearing t-shirts from Summer to Remember coming up as we take the trip out to the falls. We'll put the link to their website in the description.
We had a lot of fun as a family coming up with ideas to put onto the list.
Do you think you want to see some waterfalls?
I hope so.
You guys want to see some waterfalls. So be like Mr. Ed. Like this video, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already, and drop us a comment. Let us know what you thought about the video. Say goodbye. Well, all good things must come to an end. And this is sadly where we say goodbye to Ketchum. We've been here for 4 nights. We've seen a lot.
Made a lot of good memories, new experiences, checked off a lot of stuff on our Summer to Remember list.
And speaking of which, we have one last stop on our exploring Idaho trip, and that's going to be to go down to Twin Falls and see Shoshone Falls, which is nicknamed the Niagara Falls of the West. So that'll be cool to check that out and to share that with you guys. But we have about a 2-hour drive to get there. So we'll get there and check that out, get some lunch, and then head back to Boise
For our one last final day of sightseeing.
before we have to fly out tomorrow to go back to the land of triple-digit heat, dirt, and cactus. But I think overall this trip has definitely been really good for all of us as a family, and I think we all made some lasting memories. All right, let's go. This is just a great cap off to our vacation to Idaho. We hope that you've enjoyed following along with us, and we'll see you next time.